Hi. Hi, everyone. Obviously,
Morning. Good afternoon.
obviously, we're all friends, so we all know each other. I don't have to introduce myself as Ezra Boyce, but you all know and are aware that I am doing this as a research, and it will be published on the website. All right, guys.
Okay.
All right. So, question number one. All right. So, on a scale from 1 to 10, and I do want to hear from everyone. Do you believe that history repeats itself? And if you do, why?
So 1 is strongly agree, 10 is strongly disagree.
Yes.
All right. So I would say 1 for me, strongly agree.
Okay.
And the why is because unfortunately people just do not change, and we do keep teaching everyone the same thing over and over again. So at some point someone's bound to repeat a mistake or a habit. And I guess that would be the how.
Thank you, Noella. All right. Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, I would say 1 for strongly agree. I mean, you could just take what's going on now as an example. I mean, this is the first time there's been a pandemic, and I'm not saying it would be anyone's fault, but there were warning signs, from previous pandemics. So I would have to go with 1. And the why would be, same thing. People, they don't adhere to history, and they need to pay attention to history, and I think that's really important, that we need to really put more of an eye out for history because of what can happen in the future, and it can definitely happen again.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yeah, I go with 1. I strongly agree. I feel like it's repeating itself, and those that don't know about history, it's very easy for them to repeat things that happen already. I think that what's currently happening is it's just evolving now because we have more technology and we have more different ways of communicating and seeing things that we probably wouldn't have seen if we didn't have technology.
Agree.
So I definitely agree that it is repeating itself.
Okay. And anybody else? 0.21. All right. So, question 2: do you think lynching still occur in America just like it did 100 years ago? If so, how? Why do you think this way?
I'd answer that question. I'd say yes. I mean, there are probably less less crimes reported of actual lynching, but there could be lynching as in like someone being attacked like in the street and stuff by cops and stuff like that. Like that's in my opinion, that would be a form of lynching in a sense. Someone being attacked and killed, a black man being killed in the street by cops and stuff. And yeah, pretty much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it's not, as for lack of better words, doesn't make the headlines, I'm sure. Unfortunately, there are a lot of things that still occur, like other crimes or other actions that should be brought to justice. But to everyone's point, now that we have more technology and social media, there are just certain things that may or may not be caught to be shared with everyone. But unfortunately, I think somewhere out there, there's still a lot of these dark actions happening.
So, we all are aware of the lynching of Ahmaud Arbery, right? I'm pretty sure you all heard of it. All right. So, a lot of us heard of it on the news. Some of us read stories online, probably posts on Facebook. Some of us even watched the video, which was upsettingly and sadly disturbing. How did this lynching in particular make you feel? Were you worried? Were you upset? Were you angry? Were you emotional? And why? Did you think about your own children? Did you think about your cousins? Did you think about your nieces or yourself in the matter of this?
I would say I was more worried and afraid because being a black man in America now, it's like you actually really have to look out for things like that. This is real, and it's something that I feel like it's continuously being pushed under the rug, and people, they don't look at it as something like, they're like, oh well, why you guys always having movements and stuff like that. We have reasons like that. because it's not even safe for us to walk outside of our house. You know, the second we walk outside of our house or the second we go in the store, we're always looked at in a sense of like, you know, we're violent beings and stuff like that. And it's just a certain stigma that's on us from the beginning of time, and it's something that's hard to kind of like shake. So yeah, I would say I was worried, angry, upset, all of that.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else?
I agree with, you know, what Mark is mentioning. As a mother of 2 boys, it really, I feel maybe a combination of all of those, because I want to make sure I'm giving my, you know, 2 children the proper tools to make sure they're prepared to face the world when they, you know, go out there. It's very scary. And, you know, that's something that I'm constantly worried about. So I would have to, you know, agree with Mark. I kind of feel worried, angry, upset, emotional, and I just have to pretty much educate myself to make sure I'm doing what I have to do for my boys, you know, to protect them.
Yes, thank you. All right, anybody else?
Yeah, the same. I feel that like you almost have to train them on how to defend themselves as children, where I don't feel like people of color, people who aren't of color, I should say, have to worry about for their children. So in teaching them and watching them grow up, that's part of kind of something you have to explain to them, that though you may do nothing wrong, you want to make sure you're aware of your surroundings, always doing the right thing, possibly not wearing certain clothing and things like that, where I feel like it really only impacts people of color.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all people of color from all spectrums. And it's crazy. It's sad. It's disturbing, but it's reality. So I just want to thank you all for participating